Officially, Son has left Tottenham and is heading LAFC.
Of course. Well, first off, before I start saying how much I hate that he's going to LAFC, round of applause for his beautiful career.
Oh, let's see. I wonder if he had this in the chamber already.
Yeah.
This deal, because or he was waiting on winning something with Tottenham. But what if he didn't win anything in May? Will he have left Tottenham?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think that it was, even toward the end of the Postecoglou reign, we've talked about it, and I think that it's kind of been in their training camp as well, that, the level of fitness is just not quite there anymore.
Yeah.
Not that he's a slow player by any means, but, we've said it for episodes and episodes and years on this podcast now that, wingers pace, you need it, and they're one of the earliest positions to show the wear and tear on the body, and you become just a little less, quote unquote, useful in the tactics when you lose that little tiny step. It's just a tiny step, and that's what he's lost. And it's clear when you watch him play now, which means that he's going to be an absolute track star in the MLS. It's going to be wild to sit there and see like how in the Premier League and in the, like the Europa League competition and stuff, you're like, man, he has lost a tiny bit of pace, hasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he's going to go to MLS and it's like he's on his water skis. You're like, oh my God, what's going on?
Well, yeah, that's crazy. All-time third on the leaderboard score in goals in the history of Tottenham. Yeah. But I was thinking that I wonder if also Postecoglou leaving was like another trigger for him to say, you know what? I have played here for 10 years. My pace has slowed down. I'm not at the best of the best in my, shape or whatever. And he's just thinking, you know what? This might be a good time to call it. But that's a big money transfer to LA, 28 million or something like that. Yeah. I didn't know they would pay that much.
It's essentially, so, it used to be the Galaxy, LA Galaxy, that, in the 2000s, if you were a substantial player in Europe or, in the South American leagues, someone with a reputation that oftentimes came through in the Galaxy. Now it's LAFC in Miami.
Doesn't that show that the sport in the US is also kind of paying that much money? Because the Saudi, we know, is just because there's too much money.
Well, but again, it's like the popularity of the sport may be growing, but the league itself, I don't really think is, because it's only going to two clubs essentially. It reminds me a lot of the Saudi league, where like we talk about how much money the league has. The league doesn't have a lot of money. There are 3 or 4 teams within the Saudi league that are sponsored by that public funding. Yeah. So 4 clubs in that pyramid system have that money, just like MLS. It's like, and it's partly locational as well. Like, with all due respect, nobody wants to, having spent time in Milan, in London, in Paris, they don't want to go to Kansas City, Missouri.
They
just don't want to. And it's like, I get it, but at the end of the day, it's really, it's helping the league through only 2 of the clubs, and unfortunately, they keep trying to open up a club every, season like it's a fucking TGI Fridays. Yeah. That's what they're treating the entire league like.
That's why I think they should just combine the league and leave it to like probably 18 teams, and the rest go to the second division. Yeah. And then they can make it more competitive. Actually, Brady, I think he owns it. I think it's Swansea City. Mm-hmm. He's part owner of Swansea City this year. And he had an interview this week, and the question was, do you like the relegation system? Because now that he's into football, soccer for you guys, he's like, that's amazing. Imagine if a lot of sport had it. And I was like, that's what I'm talking to you.
I would have sent so many teams down.
That's what
but it's like when Americans hear about that, the idea, the concept of a relegation system, they love it 9 times out of 10. And I think it's actually a very American idea. You sink or swim. If you fail to succeed, you're going down, and there's real consequences for that. Which it is just interesting to me that all of our kind of American sports, the franchise is the franchise. It stays in the league. They allow the Cleveland Browns to just sink at the bottom for a long time.
And they reward you with a first pick.
With the first, yes, it like if you really think about it, it's a very un-American idea of how to run their sports.